Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today, including Stan Smyl, standing by, brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort, located oceanside in beautiful Parksville. The Bayside Resort is one of Vancouver Island's premier spots to get away, unwind, and recharge with a locally inspired menu in their breathtaking restaurant, their panoramic ocean view guest rooms, and on-site pool and fitness center. The Bayside Resort is your one-stop shop for relaxation. Book your island getaway today at BaysideOceanfrontResort.com. Joined now by the Canucks' newly appointed Vice President of Hockey Operations, Stan Smyl. Stan, thanks so much for doing this. Merry Christmas. How are you, sir?
Good morning, gentlemen. Very well, thank you, and happy holidays to you and all your listeners out there.
Hey, Stan, can you give us an idea of the atmosphere right now at Rogers Arena with the Canucks front office and just all the employees, given what's happening with COVID right now?
Well, it was, as we were going through the process of change here within the organization, and then the COVID hit again, and the closing of the building down to, not the closing, but half capacity. Yep. With the fans coming in the building. There was a lot of momentum at that time, but I think everyone understands the situation we are in right now, and having everything closed down for till after the Christmas break here, it gives everyone time to kind of regroup, get healthier, and move on, because that's what's most important, Donnie, through all this is the health of the players, their families, our fans, our staff also. So it's we had a lot of momentum, and I'm sure after Christmas we'll have that momentum come back into the building.
Vice President of Hockey Operations, Stan, what is that appointment? And you've been around for a long time. What does that appointment mean to you?
It means a lot. I think it means, that I've been in the league for a long time, and especially just for one organization. So I think just the experiences that I've gone through the good times and the bad times, I've learned from it, and it's made me a better hockey person in general, in the management side of it. And so it means a lot. It tells you that you've been around, and I think what the Aquilini family, seeing that and recognizing that, coming from them, and then just getting to know Jim over the last week also. So, but you know what? It means a lot. More so, I think, because for me, I know the passion of hockey in this province and in this city, and I just want to get a winner here in this organization.
December 6th, you met with the media with Francesco after Jim Benning and Travis Green were let go, and you made some powerful statements that day. What emotions were you feeling, Stan?
A lot. I think just, Donnie, from all the years that I've been here as a player and as a coach, scouting, management, and it meant a lot. And at that time, I just felt that change had to happen on both sides. You saw what the product was on the ice, and it was felt in the dressing room and in the management's office also. And at that time, I really felt that there should be a change. It's not easy doing it, but we have to do it. Just from my past experience, just the vibe in the dressing room, just a vibe around the building, and a vibe in the province.
Touching on that, Stan, you've been with the organization over 40 years. You were there for the three, in different capacities, different jobs, for the three runs to the Stanley Cup final. Is there a common denominator with the teams that had success, and is there a common denominator with the teams that went through dark times?
Well, Don, I think just quickly on the dark times, I think as an organization, you have your highs as a team, and you build up to get there, and it takes a lot of work maybe from, it starts from, drafting of your players, and then you as a group have to make the right decision of making the right decision on players and trading those players to have them mix with the players that you draft. So you do have a period where you are kind of in a rebuilding mode, but I think you can always be competitive, and I think that comes from the management, and it leads down to the players in the dressing room. And I think that was instilled in our team when Pat Quinn took over this organization. You had pride to put on that jersey to play the games, and also you took pride in the community here in Vancouver and the pride in playing in BC, and that came from the Griffiths family and Pat Quinn. And I think those two things, is what I've learned the most as you go through to building a contender.
Hey, Stan, before the changes, it was known that the Canucks had one of the skimpier front offices. Now all of a sudden Clancy's here, Stan Smyl's here, new GM's on the way. Are you happy now that the front office is being built and it's going to be a lot heftier?
Yes, Rick. I think you have to have the staff to move forward, maybe in your amateurs, your pros. It's really important once you have that established, all the areas that you want to get players from. I think that communication has to come from the leadership up high, and you also have to have in your front office the people that are looking over all these areas and giving them all they need, but making them better at what they do. And I think that takes a bigger staff. And now in this game, it's a world game. Right across North America, in Europe, there are all sorts of players that you have an opportunity to look at and maybe bring them into Vancouver, and they have an impact on your organization. Now you need the staff to do that in all departments, and you need the staff in all departments to communicate. And that comes again. I keep coming back to our management that we have to communicate to these guys and talking to them on a regular basis of what is an actual Canuck player and what we want in our product on the ice.
Hey, Stan, tell us about the Sedins twins. Give us an update. How are they in their new job? How are they doing responsibility-wise? I'm sure they're leaning on guys like you, but just tell us how they have been since they joined the front office.
Well, Rick, everything that people say about them, they're very humble human beings right from the get-go. And I knew that when I was on the management side and they were on the players, but I didn't have the interaction on an everyday with them as players. But in the last couple months, I've gotten to know them very well and talk to them every day. They have the same passion I do about bringing a winner here into BC, into Vancouver.
Did we lose Stan? You got him? We lose him? Yeah, I think we did. Okay, well, we'll reestablish contact with Stan Smyl and get him back in a matter of moments here, hopefully. You mentioned Pat Quinn there.
Oh, for sure.
First and foremost, I mean, you talk about the great Canuck eras. Pat Quinn was here from day one as a player, but the 80s and 90s were something special, and there's a reason there's a statue outside of Rogers Arena of him. It was just such a special time. You knew who was in charge. You had the right people beneath him and above him, and it was a real special time. And Stan was there for it all.
And the other key with Pat Quinn was the Griffiths family hired him, Donnie, and let him do his job. And that's a key. That's a big, big key is when ownership hires and lets the people do their jobs. That's a big, big key.
You got Stan back? Okay. Stan, sorry about that. It's probably a problem on our end. Where were we? We were talking about the Sedins?
The Sedin twins, Stan.
Yeah. So basically what you see on the ice with their work habits to being on the ice, that they carried it off the ice. They're first ones into the office, and they're usually the last guys to leave. They want to know everything: how the amateurs run, how the pros run. They spend a lot of time talking about Abbotsford with Ryan Johnson and knowing the team down there. Not only that, they're down in Abbotsford watching games and watching practices and spending a lot of time there. So their interest in the game and their passion really shows. And like I said, they want to bring a winner here to Vancouver.
Hey, Stan, just watching that press conference back on December 6th, it's obvious that you've got a close relationship, or it seemed obvious, with Francesco Aquilini. What's he like to work for? We hear all the rumors. What's he like to work for?
Well, I think the whole family, if you take a look, they're willing to do, and they have gone out in free agency and signing players within our organization. Anytime that I know with the management group that I've worked with before, that has never been an issue. They're on board. They'll go to the cap to get a winning organization here. But just away from the game, they have a passion to win here too. And I have to say, though, once they've taken over this organization and dealing with Francesco more than anyone in the Aquilini family, Francesco's learned over the year from day one. He was kind of coming into the hockey world and having, as a fan, but now more as a business guy and seeing how everything operates, that he's probably a little bit more patient on things with the hockey part now. But he's learned a lot since the family's taken over the Canucks.
Rick and I were looking at your hockey database page, and everybody talks about you being with the Canucks organization for over 40 years, but you've been around the Lower Mainland, going back to your days in Bellingham, coming from Alberta for pushing 50 years. What is it you like about this organization and this city, and what did you know about it when you came from rural Alberta as a teenager?
You know what? I had come out to on a holiday with my family, a camping experience, and I think if anyone has camped anywhere in BC, it's so attractive, and I loved every part of it. But I never ever thought I'd be leaving home at a young age of 13 and coming playing hockey out in the West here and especially into Bellingham, Washington, where it started for me, playing in the BC Junior Hockey League. So, and there it's just, once you spend time here, as you guys know, there's no better place, I think anyways, in North America.
So you left home at 13?
Yes, I did. I did leave home at 13, and that was basically, the Western Hockey League could protect players, and actually the Regina Pats had my protection. And I knew some players that played in Regina and had moved or were traded to New Westminster, and they directed me to come and play here. So I came and played down in the BC Junior Hockey League, and Punch made a trade for me the following year to play for the New Westminster Bruins.
Wow. Well, 13, so we're talking 10, 20 years ago, Stan.
I wish my body could feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience. I tell you, I was homesick. I cried many nights being away from my family, and it wasn't easy, but it was really something I wanted to do. But I didn't know where I was going to end up. It was to play in the National Hockey League, and I was able to be guided the right way with Punch and successful teams in New West. And then in New West, I watched Vancouver anytime I could. And we went to as many games as we could to watch them. And for me to get drafted there was a bonus because people knew how I was going to play, and I wasn't going to change my game.
Yeah. No, it's been a great run. And it continues, Stan. Congratulations on the new job, and Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
You bet. Stan Smyl, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the Vancouver Canucks. I know we're a little bit over here, but you think about those 3 Stanley Cup runs for the Canucks. 82, Stan was a player. He was the captain. Kevin McCarthy was injured. Stan became the captain. Then in 94, he was part of the coaching staff. 2011, part of the front office. In between all of that, and since then, some dark times. So Stan has seen it all. Now he's Jim Rutherford's right-hand man, or at least one of them. Right-hand person, I should say. All right, poll question. We'll get to it next. Donnie and Dolly, the team on Check.